to it. LYON is back on the blue side. We have 10 more bans thanks to Fearless, Ezreal, Gwen, and Sion banned out by LYON. Meanwhile, C9 keeps up the red side traditions. It's Varus and Vi taken away.
Okay, so a whole series, no Ezreal Varus. I like that.
That's that good stuff, sir. You better believe it.
What's the final ban here then? Are they worried about anything else from Saint? Taking their time, because now Thanatos is definitely someone that people have talked about in Fearless that they are a little bit worried about because he's so good on a fairly concentrated pool of champions. And so they're hesitating on the J-Span a little bit, but I think they knew if they left it up, then LYON would probably take it away. And like, there's no way LYON are going to let Thanatos have that, this time around. So he is going to get pushed a little bit deeper. Thankfully for Cloud9 and Thanatos, I mean, he could go super deep and go all the way to red 5 and get the counter pick with something spicy that he's been cooking up. But all of the other stuff that he usually takes already off the board.
Speaking of spicy, you know what I like, Kobe? Spicy hot dog. I hope that that's exactly what we're getting here in this one, as LYON will lock in the Nafiri for Oddie land here.
And it is a flex pick because Licorice also played it in the top lane already.
Yeah, okay.
They can get you with the sneaky spicy hot dog.
Milk. Yeah, that's a double spicy hot dog. There's all kinds of toppings on that thing.
I would say, maybe I don't recommend that top lane one as much, but it is there.
Stomachache afterwards?
Yeah, it's there. You know, it's one of the options on the menu.
Now,
maybe not as good as the jungle dog.
Now, over on the other side, the answer to the dog is the Scorpion. So Skarner locked in here for Blaber. I don't assume we're going to flex Skarner anywhere else. That hasn't really been popular since he first got reworked.
I'm good on that.
Yeah, we can leave Skarner in the jungle, and they'll also immediately pick up the Alistar here for Vulcan.
Yeah, Vulcan. I mean, honestly, this is one of the champions that he's honestly iconic with. So let's see if Vulcan can be a difference maker. I will say that Hena and Lyonz, for the majority of that previous game, did so well. Like, they were crushing it. They got LYON into the point where they almost won the game even, off a very good Kalista and Renata play. But we're in a new game, new territory here. So what are they going to play into all this front line that Cloud9 have? Cloud9, with their first 2 picks, might be some of the lowest damage and highest CC champions that you can have in the entire game. And so they're going to go with a very stable Viktor for mid lane here for Saint. After a lot of the more volatile picks are already off the board because of Fearless.
Right.
He feels like versus Loki, you know, and since Yone is gone, since Silas is gone, since all this is gone, it's just going to be a control mates matchup. So I'm fine, you know, either side of it, and it is answered there. Yeah, we're just going to get the hwei versus the Viktor, which is honestly, after those last hwei buffs, you know, very comparable in my mind. I slightly prefer a Viktor nowadays, but it's much more competitive now with hwei.
And there's been a couple Viktors already so far in LTA, but you could see when Loki locked that in, 0% presence in the drafts thus far, this split. He's had no picks, no bans yet, so Loki's going to be the first pilot here on the hwei. And now for the 3rd game of 3, the roles drafted in the first 3 picks, assuming Nafiri is not going top, are identical. It's mid, support, jungle this time. So top laners and AD carries, or bot laners, I should say again, as the Ziggs ban remains constant like it was in the last game, are going to be the targets now. Lucian continues to be banned in the second half of the draft as well. Let's see if C9 wants to look at that top lane pool at all, or if they just want to continue focusing on the marksman types. No, they are going to switch it up, banning away the Jax from Licorice.
And yeah, so we expect just the AD pick here for Cloud9 so that Thanatos can have his counter pick.
Yep.
You know, that hides things like, ooh, does Thanatos want to do a Camille or an Aatrox or whatever into Licorice shows. So whether Licorice shows tank or a little bit more you know, aggressive top lane pick, that will determine the type of counter from Thanatos. Meanwhile, we expect, let's see here, we are kind of deep on those 80 carries now too.
I like the Xayah ban as well from LYON, since you already have the dog and the dog needs to get a reset when she dives in. I like getting rid of the Xayah.
And I feel like,
whoa.
Oh, we're going to show the Camille early.
Yeah,
okay, so the Camille was one of the ones I was
unexpected.
listing because it was going to be a little bit more dangerous, but they're actually going to hide the AD pick.
I'm very confused.
I think they want to see, where is Kai'Sa going to go? Like, are you going to pick Kai'Sa? Because then we'll try and lane stomp you. If you don't pick it, now they'll evaluate, oh, do we want to be the ones on that side of it, and Lion say, you know what? We're going to forego this Kai'Sa question altogether. Get our Jhin. We have plenty of damage already showing because we're flexing this Nafiri up to top lane. Well, honestly, they could switch to the Wukong too.
Either one of them could go either place.
I think Nafiri is better for Camille, playing into Camille, but Wukong's clone is also pretty nice for it. But I think we might get the swap again for Licorice. Okay, he's sitting on Wukong for now.
Okay.
The clone interaction is definitely very favorable for the Wukong, so we'll see about that. But it ends up being Sivir farm on the bottom side of the map, so a lot of farming focus for the side of Cloud9 this time around. Okay. So it's not going to be nearly as much early playmaking for this Cloud9 lineup. Maybe we're probably spoiled by that last game. Maybe we need to take some deep breaths and calm down a little bit for the beginning of this game. Yeah, the last game was crazy. This one, I definitely do expect way more farming early. You know, maybe the Jhin and Nautilus can like set something up for Nafiri going around, but yeah, I definitely expect this one to be a lot more calm in the opening for both sides, honestly. Maybe there's some angles for Lion. Nafiri can always go for invades, especially if you have pushing lanes. And a Jhin Nautilus lane always has plenty of CC and setup for you. So.
All right, non-subscribers, we'll see you in 30 seconds. But for everybody else, Kobe, I am also loving the fact that both teams have some pretty powerful engage mechanisms here. Wukong and Nautilus for the side of Lion, with Jhin there to follow it up with a deadly flourish. And over on C9, Camille, Alistar, Skarner, all capable of setting up plays. That means if either one of these teams is hungry for violence, and they have been so far this series, they should be able to sate that appetite.
Yeah, I'm definitely looking forward to it. I think we'll be tracking Oddie land very closely on the Nafiri early, because I think he's going to have a few more options.
Okay.
I mean, Blaber could, I guess, you know, go for something with Thanatos, but like at the most, first Wukong, you're probably just getting flash, and you don't want to spend like a lot of time. So definitely expect just full clears from both junglers for sure. Then maybe looking for something after Scuttle Crab, but probably not investing too much time at all, so you can keep your farm up just fine. Zven and Vulcan, especially the Sivir and the Alistar, is mega focused on farm, similar for mid lane. So.
And you know what? Honestly, I know we were giving them a lot of props last game, but I really just want to make sure that, again, we're praising Hena and Lyonz, because not only are they having these strong performances, they're doing it against Zven and Vulcan, who have been like a top duo, if not the top duo in bot lane, in recent play here in the LTA. So it's not like you're just popping off against like a lower tier team and you're kind of like making yourself feel good, getting the warm up in. No, this is the real deal. They're going round for round with some top contenders in the bot lane, and they're looking good doing it.
They certainly are, and they don't waste any time getting right back into it. They trade aftershocks, slightly more favorable for Hena and Lyonz there on the health trade.
All right, they'll take the early control over the lane.
Ooh, the ward kill, that's good.
Yeah, I like that. I like that. Sometimes ward kills can be a little tricky with Jhin because of his slow gun.
Nautilus had it covered though, no problem. He'll pick up the extra auto.
You remember back when the control wards had 5 hits on them, and then when they changed it to 4, the Jhin players all rejoiced? That was different times.
Classic. The super invested
Alliance. That was a little close there. That was a little dicey.
Getting close to the tower, yeah. I like to live dangerously too.
Yeah,
so does Lyonz.
Right there on the edge. Right there on the edge as Licorice just going down, places a ward in the tri-brush there as he is shoved up early in this lane. Wants to make sure he's not giving a free angle over to Blaber. It is so easy for Skarner to find these creative angles too into the lanes because each stall impact allows him to dig through the wall. Honestly, though, nothing too wild happening in any of the lanes. A little bit of trading back and forth for both of the solos as Licorice just wants to keep grabbing these snappy trades against Thanatos.
Yeah, stack up your passive, get your grass proc, clone out if you are worried about the sweet spot of the W sweep. I mean, the clone is just so good. You wish it was still the old super short cooldown, so you can just try and use it on everything.
Spam it all the time, yeah.
If Camille tries to go for sweeps, if she tries to go for stuns, but easily continue to utilize that regen, utilize that push for yourself up here, and it's nice, another nice little grass trade for himself as well. Plus, we've got the Nafiri ending topside. Meanwhile, Skarner ends on a bottom side, so they know they have the difference in jungle pressures, but like I said, probably neither jungler or waste too much time afterwards.
Yeah.
Could be like a quick little look and then go into your second clear again.
Yeah. Oddie Land is heading up here. It is the hot dog. Important.
Yeah, okay. So he thought about it as like, there's options, but when the Camille still has flash, then the flash outplays with your hook shot and stunning someone under tower can be really annoying, even though Nafiri has the greatest button of all time, the tower dives.
That's a really good button.
With the newly improved W.
Yeah, the Hound's Pursuit is pretty strong for a basic ability. Very, very potent.
They nerfed it on this patch, so I was pretty happy with, you know, reducing the cool, or not reducing
increasing
the cooldown.
Increasing the cooldown.
Yeah.
If they reduced the cooldown on it, I'd be like, Freak, we gotta get Freak on the phone.
Yeah. Wait a second. Yeah, increasing it a significant amount, so that was quite good. But yeah, just right into the second clears for junglers. We do have a little bit of an opening with support roam timers, but just the Raptor ward figured out there, so it does give them a little bit of an alert. Nautilus will be away for now, and efficient control ward, defensive control ward dropped off since, yeah, most of it is going to be focused on a lot of farming here in the early stages.
Well, our first Drake is spawning in 10 seconds. It is a Chemtech Drake. Poor Chemtech Drake, the least popular of all of the flying lizards on Summoner's Rift. Nobody really likes to hang out with him, so usually going to be lower priority. Oddie Land waiting inside the brush, uses the Hound's Pursuit immediately just for the extra speed. Deadly Flourish finds Vulcan. Lyonz wants to go in with the dredge line, but I believe it caught the terrain at the very edge instead of grabbing Vulcan himself. So Oddie Land essentially just gets a quick trade against Zven and Vulcan, but really doesn't even get that much of their health. And now Blaber's taking the opportunity to go ahead and start up the Drake. He is doing it on a ward, however, so Lion has knowledge on this. As the trades continue in the 2v2 bottom side, again pretty even. Blaber just dragging that Drake out of the pit so that his bottom lane can come up and easily assist him, and they still have a way out if they need it, and it looks like they're going to take that exit now.
Yeah, nobody has like a big health lead to force this thing through. I think it was good peel from Vulcan, you know, good Alistar Q, create that distance. Yeah, fishing around, but since you have vision, just a little vision check. Okay, you know you've got a ward inside Dragon Pit, and they can just back off because Nafiri can definitely do some good poke damage, and nobody wants to further scrap. So back to the farm that we were anticipating, Flowers. You know, we got our little calm down, called it Zen moments after the exciting previous one. So yeah, it does. Connect and then
it did hit him.
Nice. And then he's able to peel, but because he's a little edge of the wall right there, and then nice little Q for himself too. Everybody backs off. Couple of aftershocks procced. No harm, no foul.
Yep, good job, observers. Thank you all for pointing out that the dredge line did indeed find the cow.
Pop.
Yeah, 6 minutes into the game. Licorice going in for the big engage. Interrupts the hook shot to force the flash out of Thanatos. Nice timing there on the second Cyclone.
And honestly, too, they've got more people.
Yeah, they're bringing Lyonz in to just tank the turret. He can only take one more shot, and he has to back away. Now, Oddie Land using the Hound's Pursuit to dodge the follow-up hit. Thanatos still trying to escape. Oddie has his flash. Thanatos does not. But honestly, that was a little bungled there from Lyon's side.
Yeah, I think definitely could have been better. Obviously, Thanatos did play it really nicely, and the proccing the passive shield there. Nice little timing window for him. Utilizes his flash. So there, he is able to escape with his life. Small little window for Lion. It's going to cost you as well. Since everybody showed up on top side of the map, Blaber does not hesitate. He will take the dragon off the other side of the map. So Thanatos absorbs the pressure. Hurts a little bit to lose the minion wave, but your team does get stinky little dragon.
Yeah, good old fart dragon. Got him right in the back pocket, having a great time. And you say it hurts a bit to lose the minion wave. You know what hurts more? To be dead.
Yeah.
Yeah. So honestly, given the two choices, you want the red pill or the dead pill? Yeah. Well, I want to take the red one. Yeah. That's the one that takes me back to the base.
And then that one makes the team happy too.
Yeah, because then nobody's got to flame you. Nobody's got to be like, hey man, what do you do? No question mark pings?
Yeah.
The fewer question mark pings in my games, the better. I find that the difficulty of the game increases directly with the number of question mark pings my team is using.
Yeah, I 100% agree. Your stress levels just rise as soon as you hear that cheerful little ping. Regardless, Blaber stays focused on the objectives. So he is just going to chain them right together. Dragon right into grubs. So nice. Thanatos absorption on the top side does wonders for Cloud9. A couple of early busts for themselves. Meanwhile, Oddie Land will be on the bottom side again, so Nafiri here probably just going to take another look for it.
Ooh, nice escape there from Hena, flashing out as now to the Nafiri in the bottom lane. Vulcan is already down. Oddie Land goes in for the reset. Zven absorbs the first hit there with a spell shield. The curtain call fires out. They need that fourth shot to connect. Zven dodges away from it, and Oddie Land still wants a little bit more damage. The deadly flourish isn't there, but the dog is hungry, and it's another kill over to Lion and Oddie Land. Loki wanted to snipe down the Nafiri there with a severing bolt, now flashing over the wall to guarantee the kill and the shutdown, so Cloud9 gets one back.
All right, exactly what we're looking for. Utilize that Nautilus, that Jhin, the CC, the chase down. Oddie Land does get it, but Loki answering might be problematic for later. He did invest his flash to do it, so it might be an opening towards mid lane that Lion can try and punish later. But we'll see about that investment because it remains fairly stable, not a huge bit of movement as far as the direction that the game is still going to go. It's still going to be fairly farm focused. Although now, with all these flashes down, we might have some opportunities arising for us. Blaber, of course, on the Skarner is who I'm looking at, since he has flash. Even though it's not like old Skarner.
Old Skarner flash is crazy.
Old Skarner flash is crazy. But new Skarner flash are really good, too, because you can just flash towards like a Jhin or something that has no mobility. And they can't really get away from you.
You just sting them.
Yeah, you can do the ult, or you can do the ease into the wall into the ult, or you can do either one first.
You got lots of choices.
Ults into ease or ease into ults.
Yeah.
Either one will be made successful. Okay, Clone is down and Blaber is here, but he just cleared the ward, so Licorice knows he will back off.
Yeah, look, or maybe he's waiting inside this brush that is warded. Recalling on that. Okay, never mind.
It's just far enough away, so like, yeah, you kind of know. I could get away. Little doggy could be here for a counter gank.
Yeah, exactly. What if the bamboozle is being bamboozled? That's what you got to worry about.
I don't want to be the bamboozled.
You want to be the bamboozler.
Exactly.
Yeah.
You always want to be the bamboozler.
You do not want to be on the receiving end of the bamboozle, as Licorice right back into the lane, going to keep pushing up. Thanatos going to take his opportunity to use the teleport to return here as the wave crashes. He loses a single melee minion, so really not feeling too bad about that one. Licorice still does have his teleport to return. Just following that general... Hold on, never mind. Saint's in some trouble with the Spiraling Despair. Vulcan wants to follow it up, but can't quite get the distance he needs with the Hex Flash. If he can hit that headbutt pole, knock him up into the air, Loki follows it up with Severing Bolt, there's actually like a very high chance of getting a kill, but since Saint has enough distance, he's fine. Heads back to base.
Some good mechanics on the other side of the map. On both sides, too, we got to see the Wukong clone interaction with the Camille E. Very easy answer from Licorice. This time, though, gotta be snappy about it.
Yep.
Quick on those fingers.
You gotta be fast. He was too close to the wall. She just jumped in. Boom,
when she's so close, the rubber band's super fast.
Yeah. Gotta be worried about that.
Thank you for observers for catching both. You know, we saw the successful one earlier, and then we see that one as well. Still going for the grass procs, trading pretty evenly, honestly, up there with the sustain wars.
That was a good one. He was able to block it pretty well that time.
He has 50 extra HP max for Thanatos, and Licorice is sitting on 135 extra max HP. He is a blasting. So Wukong, your stick gets bigger when you Q. And so Wukong can always like Q these grass procs, and it's just not a fair grasp fight. Flowers in the top lane. And so, you know, he gets to like back off with clones, he gets to get extra long extended grass proc trades, and Licorice is utilizing that very effectively. Wukong value.
It's also really easy for him to farm turret plates. You just get close enough for the demolish to tick down. All of a sudden, big stick, you get paid. Easy money.
Cash stick.
The money stick. I swing the stick and I get money. But the dragon
He's coming down for the dragon. He's bringing the money stick to the dragon fight.
The money stick is looking to turn C9 into pinatas as they have to try to back up a little bit now. They started the Drake up, but Lion is sending the full squad down here to contest Drake number 2. And it looks like C9's going to decide, all right, we saw the money stick. We don't want to have anything to do with this anymore. So Oddie Land will pick this one up, tie the Drakes up 1-1.
That's what they say. Carry a big money stick.
Yeah. Lane softly and carry a big money stick.
There you go.
Okay.
All you got to do is walk close. They get scared.
Okay, so Licorice has made his way back up to top, and honestly, the roam down there doesn't cost him that much. Like, the big wave is just now crashing into the turret. He makes it back up there in time to pick it up, and his presence, his pressure, was enough to guarantee that dragon for the side of Lyonz. Since Thanatos had already used his teleport, he couldn't join. He was still stuck up in the top lane. Vulcan really wants to help Loki beat Saint up, though. Like, he is just really happy to hang out in these brushes. The cow is just grazing the brush.
And honestly, it makes sense, too, because these two definitely have a little bit of extra ego in their 1v1. You know, we saw it a lot this series, where they're going for frequent trades. They're constantly looking for solo kill angles on the other. They're both honestly also calling jungles and supports a decent amount. I would say the Cloud9 members, as you mentioned, Vulcan and Blaber, visiting the matchup a little bit more, though.
Yeah.
So seems like the Cloud9 members a little bit more invested in the Loki side of it.
Well,
with
right
some
now,
of the extra help.
Loki is the only one on Cloud9 who has a gold lead. Most of that gold lead was the instant shutdown that he got on Oddie after he got the 2 kills in the bottom lane. So it's not like he's been completely smashing Saint in lane or anything. The farm pretty much dead even in almost all of the roles. The most meaningful difference is the top side, where Licorice is up a couple of waves.
Yep, the farm game playing out as expected. Little bit, we got a little bit of action.
Yeah,
you know?
yeah, we got the scrap in bottom lane. We got a couple of attempts here and there. It is 3 seconds until the Herald spawns. I'm kind of hoping we can get a big fight for this. We've got a lot of summoner spells available. All of the combat sums are available for C9. Loki's teleport is the only thing not there, and he just used it to move up into the top side. Over on Lyon's side, they've got everything except Saint's TP, and it's about to be ready to go again. So with everything ready on both sides, I'm really hoping that both teams want this objective. But right now, LYON are just ready to full send after this. This is one thing this team has been doing throughout this series, particularly around these top side objectives, just going in after it, pulling the trigger, no fear. And now again, they're gonna find what they're looking for. Hena with the flash away from the Skarner as Blaber tried to go in for the Impale, and now LYON is collapsing. Blaber's gotta try to get away as Oddie immediately jumps in with a Hound's Pursuit. Top laners fighting off to the side on the other side of the map, but Blaber is still very low. The curtain call blocked up by the rest of C9, so Blaber can escape. It was an attempt from both sides, but we don't get any kills.
And the setup for it was pretty nice. So the idea was, LYON are like, okay, we'll keep Licorice topside because he is going to use his teleport after we force this Rift Herald and after we finish the objective. But then, that's why the picture-in-picture came up. Licorice teleported down to the tower. Well, Thanatos wants to punish him already.
Yeah, Thanatos immediately jumping in with a Hextech ultimatum, but the Wukong can survive. Licorice using the Cyclone defensively, but now he's got to be careful because Blaber and Vulcan have arrived. Skarner's not going to do a ton of damage, but he can do enough to set it up there for Vulcan, who knocks Licorice up into the air and kills him with the trample damage.
Trampled. Meanwhile, topside though, actually they're gonna get 2 charges out of this Rift Herald. They get the one into the secondary turret, cash in, so they sacrifice Licorice on the bottom side, but they put the Rift Herald to very good use, getting a bunch of gold here to swing it a bit back towards the side of LYON. It's instantly answered by Thanatos after they had already killed off Licorice, and Lyonz, I mean, it's probably just going to be a recall interrupt.
Okay, yep, that's fine. So we've got, it's 2 kills to 2. Next kill gets the kill feat. It's also 2 neutral objectives to 2, with Grubs and Herald going opposite sides, 1 Drake going opposite sides. So next neutral objective gets that feat. LYON have already claimed the first turret one, but C9 could still steal away the name brand designer shoes if they can get the next objective and a kill with it.
And this is what you want for the deciding game of a series that has been exciting like this one has. We have very even opening here in game number 3 after it has been so crazy in the lead up. And it puts a lot of emphasis and pressure on these mid-game team fights. I mean, we came into it knowing, like, Sivir's going to want to power farm, hwei's going to want to power farm, Viktor's fine with that too. So we're scaling up on both sides, and we're going to head into these team fights on even footing. And with how crazy the fights were in the previous game, I'm expecting it to be explosive. Now, it's interesting because they have to mismatch the split push right now. Saint, with his teleport ready, has to go topside. So he's the one to go answer the Camille at the moment, while Dragon on opposite side of the map is started up. But Licorice is also pushing bottom side with nobody from Cloud9 catching the minion wave. So Licorice gets a flank angle, and the minion wave is into the tower.
Okay, curtain call is open. Zven has already taken a good chunk of damage here as the rest of C9 tries to get out of the curtain call. Top side of 1v1. Saint against Thanatos isn't going to turn into a whole lot as Zven has to try to escape. Licorice looking to make the entry into the back line of Cloud9, but instead the Spiraling Despair catches the Wukong out, and the first kill of the fight goes over to C9 as Licorice does not get what he was looking for. Now Oddie has to try to escape, and with the kill on the enemy top laner, now it's C9 with control over the bot side river right back after the objective.
Summoner spells are everything, Flowers, because Licorice didn't have his from the early tower dive on the other side. Wait a second, they're going to keep the fight going. Vulcan dodges that one.
Okay, but a TP's about to arrive from Saint. Vulcan stepping away from the deadly flourish, and he still had Unbreakable Will, so Lion can't just burst him down. But now Thanatos has used his teleport to join the fight, and he's ready to help Blaber try to finish off this dragon. Whoever gets the dragon gets the free boots as well. As Oddie jumps into the pit, he's ready to try to contest it, but he already used Hound's Pursuit, and now he has to jump back over the wall as Blaber just swoops on through with the Ishtal impact. Oddie walks up, and it's going to be slain by Blaber. He'll secure the Drake for C9. He'll secure the boots for C9, but he'll give his life to do it. And now Lion want more. Saint going over the wall. He's got Lyonz right next to him, and it's a double kill for Oddie as they pick up the kill on Loki. Lion come out on top in terms of gold and kills, but C9 get the objective and the feats.
Let's see about the aftermath too. I guess they go for the instant recall because Otacon is actually coming up fairly shortly, and they sustain so much damage, it's untenable to stick around. The dog also does not get found, so Oddie also will get the reset. With the extra vision planted on the resets here, they're going to hex skate right back over to the Otacon fight side of the map. Maybe there'll be a fight, but we'll take a look at this one again. Oddie had to use everything to get away after trying to go for the smite, but he still walked back in, and it was a straight up smite fight. So Blaber clutches it with Oddie being back in range. And as you say, with the chase down, 2 of the extra kills going over here will be quite meaningful with that gold into Oddie himself. So Nafiri will be very scary. When we get back to live, he's got 2 items. He fully finished the Black Cleaver on top of the Spear of Sojin now. So Oddie is 2 items along with the Jhin as well, and the Sivir. So a couple of people kind of rushing forward, and we are finally going to get our start of the Otacon with no answers currently from Cloud9. Loki has teleport, so it could be a delayed answer, but you have to get there for the smite now. This is new Otacon. There's no flower bed afterwards. You have to fight early.
They're going for it as Lion are trying to cover, as Oddie has the objective down to half HP, but it's going so slowly. C9 on the approach. Lion backing it up a little bit. Oddie's got to be careful here. Surely he's taken a lot of shred from that Otacon so far. He'll take a ton of damage if C9's able to collapse for the curtain call. Chases Vulcan and Zven away. Oddie chunked down to half HP as Vulcan looks for an entryway into the fight. Saint's got to back up now as well. C9 moving up towards the Otacon that's quickly losing patience. If you're Lion, you want it to reset. It goes right back into the pit. Now recharged about 80% of the HP. Licorice wants the angle, ready to dive in, but Vulcan denies the engage. Lion surely going to be first to die here as Oddie is locked up inside the Hextech ultimatum. He can't get away just yet. The Boomerang Blade can't find him, and Licorice is still looking for some kind of an angle. Only Lyonz has died, but it's Oddie who can't get involved in the fight. Licorice's Cyclone doesn't do anything as Loki gets the kill on Saint. Licorice is in the middle of everybody. So close, but so far. Zven takes him down, and Lion have lost 3. Make it 4 as hwei paints a masterpiece, and Lion are wiped off the canvas.
Where's that dog going, Flowers?
What's the dog doing?
What's that dog doing? All right, take another look at this. Now, it is going to reset, and Saint makes the mistake of re-aggroing it. So Otacon right now, when it's casting spells outside of range, guaranteed, gonna reset, gonna get very healthy. But Lion want to trap them, and Saint goes to auto-attack it again. So it's gonna start attacking and shredding you again while you go for the engage on Cloud9. Definitely a mistake there, but you called it out on the engage. Cloud9 countered it, and then they trap Lion on the counter and run them down. Loki forced Saint's flash there with the hwei. They finish it off, and they chase down so many members. And I wonder what Oddie was thinking when he was coming over this wall. I guess he was looking at who was low health over there. Was it just Alistar was super low or something? Yeah, he must have been trying to pick off the straggler and lost track of hwei. But yeah, the extra kill also going over. And the Coaching staff are
man.
out. Oh, I feel that. It was so close.
Yeah.
Like, Lion, I don't think you could be closer in a best of 3. With the way that game 2 was. Okay, here we go, though.
Oh, Oddie wants this kill onto Thanatos. The curtain call backing it up. Oddie needs a little bit more damage, and he finds it. A nice shutdown there to bring the gold back to even. C9, though, having secured their first Otacon of the series. Feeling pretty good about that. Feeling even better about this pick onto Saint, but they don't have the damage. They're not feeling so good after all. Now the follow-up from LYON as Vulcan is about to die here, too. A little bit more should seal the deal on him, and Oddie comes across just to cut off the escape. Blaber barely gets away from a Hex Gate, and right when it looked like LYON might have tossed away their chances this game, they immediately strike gold.
Yeah, Cloud9 got the Otacon, so that was a big win there. But LYON come back out after the reset, and they get 3 kills and a Dragon Flowers?
Yeah, they do. This is absolutely crazy as LYON are bringing it right back. They take down the tier 1 turret in the mid lane, so they've got themselves another objective claim. They're 4 turrets to 2, and now they're going after another Drake. Let's take another look at how this happened. Thanatos gets caught on the recall.
Okay, so Oddie goes in with the Nafiri, as you said, is going to have the backup of the Jhin ult as well. Has to make use of it. Thanatos tries to buy some time for himself, but not getting away for that one. This is the critical one, though, because topside was just a pick and multiple resources, but then Cloud9 felt because Jhin and Nafiri and Wukong were all topside, they wanted to make a counterplay. We're back to live.
Okay, Thanatos getting caught again. The Nafiri unafraid to just jump in on the Camille. Licorice also using his own ult. They full send it, and Thanatos is just getting caught back to back.
Cloud9, they started to crumble after they had such a successful fight for Otacon. Now they're trying to refocus on towers. They can get mid and top lane here in payment, but LYON, they came alive. Well, they can't finish off mid.
No.
LYON have come alive, though. They got pick after pick after pick. More gold off of the side lane tower there. More gold split for the Viktor.
C9 not only missed getting the tier 2 in mid, but it gives the opportunity for LYON to secure the tier 2 in bottom lane at the same time. LYON's gold lead now 2,000. The Drakes still tied at 2-2. The next one's still a long way away. But honestly, Kobe, I feel like this is not the type of game, this is not the type of series where we're waiting for objectives or reasons to fight. We're just fighting for the love of the game.
We are, and then they're pushing hard afterwards. I like how they're going for towers, committing fully to getting them, because the gold here is increasing so quickly. Like, we're already at 3 items on the Jhin. We're already at multiple items on most of the carries. hwei as well, Loki on the other side. He's the big one for Cloud9. Loki, ever since like flashing over towards the bottom side to get that shutdown, he's been doing a lot of work for Cloud9 in this one. So, and that champion did get buffed on the AoE for later in teamfights for this moment in the game. So we'll see if he can continue to paint beautiful pictures for C9, or if Cloud9 are actually going to fall in this best of 3. LYON have really done their best to push them to the edge.
I've been very impressed with LYON during this series. Cloud9, you already mentioned it, I think, back in game number 1, that they were the team that was looking the best coming out of our best of 1 like seeding stage, our placement stage. But now, LYON, who have been on this 6-game slide ever since they played against the other bottom teams at the very start of the split, have a real, honest-to-God shot of knocking Cloud9 down a peg, and also putting in a lot of work for themselves for having a strong position to just get out of the group, to play for positioning in the playoffs phase versus having to play to not be eliminated.
100% agree. All right, Hexgate's going to get out for the escape there for Oddie. Scuttle Crab Vision will be secured in trade. We did have actually the walk down from hwei, so everybody's here.
LYONz finds a hook onto Blaber, but you definitely don't want to overcommit onto giant meatball Skarner. That is generally not a viable target if he has teammates nearby. Licorice wanting to get away with the clone down there in the bottom side. Man, we're having a lot of item power spikes coming through, though. Licorice now on 2 fully completed items. Same can be said for Thanatos. Mid laners, you can see that Loki, with the 4-1 scoreline, still with that advantage over Saint. He's got 3 fully completed items. Saint still working to try to get his own Void Staff done. The Lord Dominic's regards for Hena allowing that Jhin to hit hard through some of these frontliners. He he knows he's probably going to have to shoot through that Skarner to get to the valuable target, so it might as well hurt.
Yeah, I'd rather shoot everybody else first than the Skarner and the Alistar. I'm definitely with you as far as it being difficult to take down those mega tanks for the squad later. But yeah, there's a lot of other damage sources on this Lion squad too, so they can kind of spread around the burden of the shred, because double black cleavers, one for Licorice, one for Oddie as well. And Oddie himself has a lot of money. So if he can finish his Death's Dance on the Nafiri and get to the 3-item power spike, you do really get to start to live in this kind of dream world for the team fights for Nafiri later on, because you can jump into the back line, look to pop somebody, use your W to avoid, reset with the second charge of your ultimate. But the dragon is here, Flowers, only 30 seconds away, and we're gonna get that exciting fight.
And we've been talking about Lyonz items and 3-item power spikes. Zven has Infinity Edge. He has Lord Dom's Regards, and he has a fully stacked Yuntal Wild Arrow. This Sivir is fully online. The farming phase, that was great. We planted the crops, we harvested them, everything's done. Now it's time to rock and roll. The curtain call opens, but it's only hitting Vulcan so far, and Saint's been knocked down below half HP. The trade favors C9. Thanatos was looking for a flank, and Licorice was looking for a flank on the flank. Neither one of them going to find the opportunity. As Thanatos immediately jumps into the Dragon Pit, as LYON decide they're going to go after the Baron instead, but the control ward there stops that plan in its tracks, with LYON all up here on this top half of the map. Okay, never mind. They're going right back into it. Oddie has started it up. C9 is still over on the Drake, but there's no way LYON can do this fast enough. Their AD carry is Jhin.
Yeah, 100% agree. I think it's all kind of stems from Saint getting chunked out. When the Viktor was down at half HP, C9 basically guaranteed that dragon for themselves.
Oh, nice double pull comes out from Blaber, and that's going to be a huge pick to kill Saint at the very start of the fight. But now Licorice into the back line, finds a Cyclone onto multiple targets, but it's only his own grave. C9 just completely shut them down. Blaber with an Impale that just might have won the series.
He buffered his ultimate when he saw the hook coming. He sees Lyon's hook coming towards his face. He buffers his Skarner ult, so when the Nautilus hooks Skarner in, it's to Blaber's delight. He gets the Dream ult off. He uses the Nautilus hook against him, and Cloud9 will use that to get the Baron.
Perfect use of Impale by Blaber, and now this game that has been on a knife's edge for so long, Cloud9 have a huge opportunity to just blow it wide open.
Skarner looking like Spider-Man here. Let's take another look. So when he sees the Nautilus come out, as soon as he sees him throw it, even though it's close, boom, he's going to start his ult. So as it pulls him in, he gets 2. It pulls him right next to the Viktor too. It's just dream. Blaber got assisted, very nicely done. Pops his ultimate off, and it barely snags Saint too. That was like so close to the edge. Grabs the Viktor, dream stuff there for Cloud9. And now, they already had the Dragon, they already had the Otacon. Now with Baron buff, they should be able to get a bunch of money so that they're in a very good spot to earn Dragon's Soul in 3 minutes time. The goal is, get this outer tower, bunch of gold there. Don't give up anything unnecessary here, and just try and get bigger item leads for that Dragon Soul fight.
This has been a huge sequence for C9. Blaber's pick on Saint there. Viktor died with his ultimate still ready to cast. Like, he just did not get a chance to move. The Skarner ulti into the immediate follow-up. Everybody just sending the whole kitchen sink at him. Worked out beautifully as Thanatos is now the split pressure, providing the wave, crashing into mid lane, while everybody else on C9 working on this bottom lane. Sivir is great at pushing these waves up, insta-clearing them out. As Oddie on this Nafiri, he's got so much of the kills, he's got so much of the money for LYON, but we're in a situation like this when the enemy team has Baron, when the carries have scaled this high, it can be hard to find the angles you're looking for. Lyonz wants to jump in, but a ton of damage right back onto him. Zven's dead! Oddie has found the angle to go after the carries, and Loki's gonna try to run now. Lyonz is still alive, and Thanatos joins the fight. Saint's gonna be punished. A 1-for-1 trade so far. Oddie low on mana and half HP, still looking perhaps for an angle to chase after C9, but they'll disengage.
Just assassinating Zven there. Thought they were possibly going to be able to chain for more, but Viktor, no flash, and dead now for 30+ seconds. Puts a stop to everything. Both carries on both sides gonna have to leave it at that. We have plenty of time still before the dragon fight though, Flowers.
Yeah.
So it is gonna be kind of a tense, minute and 40 seconds here as we lead up to it. You're looking at a lot of these flashes that were just used now. Those things will not be back for the Dragon Soul fight. So it is going to be very dangerous for both Saint and for Zven and for Loki. I mean, all those carries are going to have to be very careful about their positioning. I guess Thanatos too, but it's more like an offensive thing with Camille and trying to get really good picks with your flash.
The two big flashes that are still up, though. Licorice on the Wukong, that one is huge. If he can find an angle for these ultis, Cloud9 has been stopping him from getting a ton of good ones so far. And Hena, also with flash and barrier, both still up. The Jhin is 0, 0, and 8. 8 is a multiple of 4. This is technically a really good Jhin score, even though he doesn't have any kills. He's also getting close to completing his 4th major item. I don't think he's going to have it in time, though, but he has a chance to really shine in this upcoming fight because of those summoners you're talking about.
The 4-item power spike for Jhin is huge.
Yeah.
See if we can get that completed. As we tensely await the arrival of the Dragon Soul. Hex Tech at that. Very desirable one. Jungle priority achieved by Cloud9 though, so vision coverage will be to their advantage. You have to worry about the Camille flanks. Camille flanks are going to be looking towards Saint. This Viktor with no flash has to be so careful with his positioning.
All right, Saint. Let's see what you got. Oddie land just trying to throw a couple of those darkened daggers towards the C9 lines. Lyonz goes in, finds the dredge line onto the Skarner, but they've learned their lesson last time. They do not want to go in too far after this. Blaber with another shield there, making sure that they're not doing a ton of damage to him as Licorice forced to fight Thanatos here in the Hex Tech ultimatum. The Q2 goes through and Licorice is going right back to spawn. He does not want to have to participate in this fight without healing up first. He does have his TP to join. You'll see Thanatos making his way over. He might have the angle towards the curtain call here, but the Hex Soul is stolen! The Jhin got it. Hena with a curtain call shot snipes it away from Blaber.
Dude, what is this series? That is insane! Yes, we got more time, Flowers!
I am loving it!
We are going the distance! Oh my goodness, Hena is insane. This guy did so much work in the previous game, and LYON barely could not clutch it. He comes up huge again.
Here we fight, okay?
Yep.
2K, maybe do it. Nice!
Nice! Mid. Yeah. Nice. They can still fight.
Nice, Hena.
Nice, nice, nice!
Yeah, it is. Hype him up, yo. That was clutch. He got the dragon, so we are still soulless, Flowers.
Well, it's another game where we're going 3-3 on the Drakes. Soul is guaranteed on the next one. If you got a friend who's thought before about watching some North American League of Legends and you never knew what series to show them this one.
Yeah.
This has just been nothing but entertainment start to finish, man. I love this series.
Start from the beginning, too. You need the whole story of the best of 3. All right, though, it's about to culminate very soon because Baron onto the map, and it's dark. Cloud9 have controlled the vision. They swept out everything, so LYON have to come over and check.
Okay, Blaber and Vulcan going to step out of the brush first. Very tanky front line here for C9. Blaber's got like 5,000 HP. Dredge line from Lyonz, but it only finds Vulcan. That's not the target they want. That's not the target Blaber wants either. Lyonz trying to flash away the Spiraling Despair. He does not want that stuck on the rest of the team as Loki's already unstoppable. Nice engaged follow-up there from Vulcan. Hena's under pressure. Thanatos is after him. There's nobody protecting the Jhin. Zven gets the kill, and LYON are not where they need to be. C9 get the engage. Saints the next to fall, and Oddie runs into the enemy jungle. He dodges Severing Bolt with a Hound's Pursuit, but Thanatos is ready to hook shot over the wall for an easy kill, and C9 with 4 dead on the enemy team start the victory march down mid lane.
What a series! Cloud9 will do it. They clutched it out so closely in game number 2, and now in game number 3, they're done farming flowers. They're ready for destruction.
C9 are at the finish line, and Licorice will not be able to hold them at bay. Lyonz respawns, but it's only as Licorice dies. All 5 C9 players still standing strong. The ace yet again. Nobody on Lyonz gonna respawn in time. It was a battle here on Summoner's Rift, but C9 are still standing.
Wow. Nexus defense all the way to win in game number 2. Game number 3, farm it up and clutch out some fights.
Wow. What a series, man. If you don't like that, you don't like League of Legends. That was the most fun I have had with a domestic series here in North America in a long time. Like, what a fun series.
And you gotta feel for the LYON players, for the LYON coaching staff. Man, we could see it in some of the reactions from the coaching room, just how close they got. But Raz looks like he is ready with his interview with Blaber.
I'm just gonna start with a simple question. How do you feel after that series?
I mean, I'm pretty happy we won. I think like we haven't been practicing the last like 2 or 3 days, and my support landed from on the airplane this morning. So yeah, our first 2 games were kind of scrappy. So yeah, I'm just happy we won.
Cause like, walk me through the feeling of game 2, the fact that it was almost over. You almost basically lost 0-2. Then the base defense goes through. Like, what is the thought process in the team? What is the comms like in those moments?
I mean, we definitely should have lost the series. Like, game 2 was over. I don't know how my Yon stole Baron, but he did. And then even after that, like, we probably should have lost as well. I think they went a bit too deep, like at the Nexus. But we're kind of just like still playing the game. We're like, it's fine. Just, you know, try our best. And then we call good. We had good comms and team fights, and I think that was about it.
And now just kind of looking forward, you guys are now at least solidified top 2 in the group with alongside Team Liquid. They're going to be your next opponent. What are the takeaways coming out of this series going into the next one?
I think we had like a couple big mistakes this series. Like we were getting caught out too much, especially me like in game 2 on Lilia. I think we would have won that 3rd Drake fight, and then we probably would have won the game if I didn't get caught right before it. And then I think just in general, we were kind of just playing bad. We were losing skirmishes today. So yeah, probably just rewatch the game. I can't really think about it too much because I don't remember all the games so well, but at least for me, I was definitely getting caught out and fucking up some skirmishes.
Any final messages?
Nah, happy one.
That sounds good. Gonna be sending one straight to the lounge to end the day.